Welcome to the UND Intramural Flag Football Online Captain's PowerPoint. Here are the starting and ending dates of the regular season league and the playoff season for this. As the captain, you serve as the liaison between the intramural program and your team. Make sure you are familiar with all sport rules and intramural policies. Make sure that each of your players are eligible to participate and let them know of scheduled game times. Let us know if you're unable to make it and regularly check your email for updates from the intramural staff. Before their first contest, each one of your players must be registered and join your team's roster on iableagues.com, where you will be able to find all schedules, rules, and free agent listings. In order to be eligible, all players must be a UND student or a faculty or staff member with a Wellness Center membership, be on your iAmLeagues team roster, and have their UND ID on them. Teams may have only 2 sport club members or former college varsity athletes competing in similar or related sports, and or pro or semi-pro athletes that haven't competed at that level in the past 2 years. Players can be added to the roster at any time before playoffs, but they can only play for one team. Ineligible players' cont will subject themselves and their team to penalties outlined in the intramural handbook. Each team in every game will be rated on a 1 to 4 point scale for their sportsmanship before, during, and after a contest. If a player is ejected from a contest, that player will be suspended from their next game. A forfeit occurs when a team has no players on site at game time. That team will then be ineligible for playoffs, and if they receive 2 forfeits, the team will be dropped from the league. A default occurs when a team has players present, but the minimum number has not yet been met. Or if the captain notifies the intramural office that they will not be attending a game at least 6 hours in advance. If they receive 2 defaults, the team will be ineligible for playoffs, and if they receive 3 defaults, they will be dropped from the league. To compete in playoffs, teams must have won at least 2 games, a cumulative sportsmanship rating of 3 or higher, no forfeits, and no more than 1 default. Only players that participated in the regular season can participate in playoffs, and playoff scheduling may be different than regular season scheduling. No individual is allowed to be in possession or under the influence of alcohol or drugs. Any player caught will be immediately removed, suspended from their next game, and reported to UND safety. Team names must be appropriate. If deemed inappropriate by intramural staff, they will be immediately changed. The intramural staff is first aid and CPR certified and will provide initial emergency care to any injured parties. Participation is voluntary. Any bleeding players must immediately leave the game area and cannot return until the wound is covered, the bleeding has stopped, and any blood-stained clothing has been removed. Report all injuries to the intramural staff. No boots or open-toed footwear are allowed, and all jewelry must be removed for all intramural contests. Teams may only have between 5 and 7 players on the field at a time. At least 4 offensive players must be on the line of scrimmage before a hike, and any players eligible to catch a pass. Any team ahead by 25 points in the last 2 minutes of the game will be declared the winner. There are no kickoffs. In all kickoff situations, the receiving team will play the ball on their own 14-yard line. If a punting is declared, no fake or quick punts are allowed, and the kicking team cannot cross the line of scrimmage until the ball is kicked. If the punt touches the ground, the play is dead. Teams have 25 seconds to put the ball into play after the official declares it ready for play, and the ball must be snapped between the legs or to the side. Any ball that hits the ground is considered dead, and the quarterback can run at any time without being rushed. Diving is illegal at all times unless when attempting to catch a pass. Spinning is allowed only by the ball carrier, and players may not hurdle over one another. Linemen may not use their hands when screening and must stay stationary downfield when blocking. No bull rushing is allowed. Tackling occurs when you pull the ball carrier's flag off their belt, and physical tackling will be deemed unnecessary roughness and may be penalized. All clothing must be tucked in and not covering any flags. There are no flag guarding or stiff arming. Touchdowns are worth 6 points and safeties are worth 2 points. Points after touchdown attempts at the 3, 10, and 20-yard mark will be worth 1, 2, and 3 points respectively. When intercepting a point after touchdown attempt, it will be worth 3 points upon touchdown. Here's a diagram of driving directions to the field from the UND Wellness Center. This video is only a small overview of the rules. Please read and be familiar with all sport rules and the intramural handbook. Ignorance of the rules is not an excuse, and remember all official calls are final. Like the Wellness Center Facebook page for all Wellness Center event updates at facebook.com/UNDwellness. Thanks for watching. If you have any further questions, please visit und.com/intramurals.